Okay. Nothing better to do.
I have a lot of work to do too.
My name is Tait.
It's very easy for me to...
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And today we are not here with Parveen. We are here with someone fairly special. And I don't know, this is a long-awaited interview, but it's finally here. It's happening. And I gotta thank Parveen. She really did sponsor this, as much as she doesn't want to admit to it, but she set this up. So thanks, Parveen. I'll let you introduce yourself because I can't see your last name.
Lilia Zaharieva.
Nice. That's her real last name. Alright. So we gotta know, what was your most favorite policy in place when being a youth in care?
Whoa, you start off with the big questions.
Do you want me to start with the more basic
You know
one?
what? I was totally unaware of my rights when I was in care. I wasn't educated on them, and I was also really passive. I didn't make myself educated in them, and it wasn't until years later of actually being out of care that I felt really engaged in the policy. So
Section 70, that whole ordeal.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay. Nice. Alright. So now some of my friends really think that we're not friends because I've led some of them to believe you are a model. Now, is it true that we do contact each other, that we are friends, and that you are a model? They have to know.
Technically, I've done some hair modeling.
Oh, the truth comes out.
So, by technicality, I suppose. And definitely friends. It's cool that I can look to you for some advice and support.
Did you hear that, Mary Ellen? Alright. So we're both members of the Federation of BC Youth and Care Networks, and you unfortunately had to miss the last SCM. For the next one, do you think, if all goes well, and you're able to come, what do you think you'd be most looking forward to?
Well, I know that a lot of changes are happening in the Fed. I know that Jocelyn is stepping down as executive director and Lorena's filling in, and I know that lots is shifting. So I'm sure that they're going to deal with the change really gracefully, and I'd be excited to step in and support the new board members as well, including Jessie.
Nice. You actually jumped right into my next question. What did you, like the whole Jocelyn thing, what did you think? Do you think that was handled well? Do you think they're going to find someone as good as Jocelyn? Like, what do you think of Jocelyn ordeal? Your thoughts? Because you weren't there at the SCM for the fabulous speech.
I was really upset to miss it.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask you about the speech since I only found out from the other Chris Wagner. But I think Jocelyn will be pretty hard to replace. I think she's done a good job. I think she's very capable, and I think she's so connected.
Yeah.
Like working with her on the IFCO committee.
Right.
A really great experience. We had a great time.
Nice.
And I really appreciate how Jocelyn can be in a room with anyone and make them feel appreciated. So I think it's good that they're, like, from what I hear, they're not rushing into finding anyone. They're giving it some time. I think Lorena's going to do an amazing job filling in. She's so organized. And
indeed, she is.
She's so on point.
And I don't want to quote Parveen right in front of her, but apparently she's got the managerial skills. Managerial.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright,
so
she qualifies in every which way.
Yeah, and I hope that they find someone better than Jocelyn.
I'm hoping
and I hope that Jocelyn hopes they find someone better than Jocelyn.
Indeed.
But I don't think she'll ever be replaceable.
Oh, everyone said that so far, but I think I've asked.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. And what other news? So there was the voting. You didn't get out and vote, did you?
I did.
You did. What are you looking forward to, this whole, because I think it's well tied into the Occupy stuff, what's going on. So do you think the whole voting thing has had a huge effect with the Occupy, you think, or?
I couldn't speak to that, but as part of my TEDx youth talk yesterday, there was a really great speaker, Jacob, and he talked about youth politics.
Okay.
And what he said was really neat. He said that there are so many other ways that youth engage politically that isn't voting. He said, well, I can think of a lot of other more fun things to do than just check an X and stick it in a box.
And hope, you know?
Yeah, he's like, I can think of other more fun ways. So he talked about if you look at youth in terms of volunteering or speaking at events like you do, or voting with their money by either boycotting or boycotting.
Nice.
So he said that why don't we like open up the definition of political activity, like youth engagement.
Yeah, totally.
So meaningful. And he said that it is important to vote, but why don't we broaden the definition? So what I'll always take is he said youth politics isn't indifferent, it's merely different. So I think the fact that Occupy is even taking place in discussion is really cool and like a step in the right direction. I like that quote.
Let's see, what else? Oh, and you sort of mentioned briefly about your possible career, you know, working in a non-profit and everything, possibly starting one. I don't want to get too in-depth with it, but it sounds like it's going to be a big thing. Do you think when you do, you know, if the funding goes through, if everything happens, do you ever see yourself collaborating with anyone else, possibly the Fed or...
Amazing question as always.
I don't want to get too deep, but I mean, I wonder if this was something you ever considered.
One thing that's really important to me is collaboration and innovation. I think that when you work with lots of different people, as long as it's clearly defined, very
well noted.
Yeah. Then I think collaboration is so important, and I would love to work with the Fed in the future by going over to Vancouver and implementing like a 12-week inside-out session for youth who have a parent with mental illness, and to really like mental illness comes with a lot of stigma. I hate that word. I think it's a stigmatizing word.
Very much is.
I hate the word
Very
stigma,
much is.
but I use it liberally.
Like at-risk youth.
Yeah, which you busted me on that.
Yes.
Which is fair. Totally fair. So let's take away the stigma of at-risk youth.
All right. Well, that's cool. I think that's awesome.
To collaborate, yeah.
Now we know what you're about. We know what you do. Now,
really? That makes more than me.
I think we kind of get the understanding, the firm grasp. But what do you like to eat?
That's a very important question.
What food says, you know, Lily is, you know, can't live without food?
Okay. Well, I have to thank Parveen for this quite a bit, but I love these pretentious little French pastries called macaroons.
Okay.
I'm absolutely obsessed with them, and there was a really memorable SCM where Parveen had surprised me with a bunch of them on the SkyTrain. So you're on the SkyTrain on the way to the SCM, like.
I think I remember that. Yeah, I think I remember that.
We were eating these little cookies, so.
Nice.
I think that, like, sometimes I get really serious and look at the big things, but to take time to enjoy like food with people.
Indeed.
Even like pho.
Pho.
AKA pho.
Yeah. Shout out to pho.
I think it's really important. Like food brings people together.
Nice. I hope you ministry people are watching this and, you know, writing that down. All right. Now there's been, you know, I keep saying I'm going to, you know, starting on my music, and I really have this year. I've really stepped up and started doing recordings and testing out my voice and my patterns, and, you know, it's all technical crap, but, you know, and I think I feel comfortable with doing some songs. Some people want to know if there is that awesome Lily and Tate collaboration in the future. And if you could commit to that and it be on film.
I'll try to pull a social worker and not commit to it.
Oh.
But No,
Heard that.
you know what? For you, I would step outside of my comfort zone.
It wouldn't be much. I get you to do a couple verses, you know, not too much, but you know, to know that you're there on that track, present. You know, like if the Black Eyed Peas ever feature anybody, you think about it, there's like 5 of them, and they feature one other person, like, how would they work that in? And I think with my ego and your awesomeness, we could work you in.
Okay, well then, Lil Z will be on the track.
Because unfortunately we have no youth in care tracks out there, and I'm going to be a pioneer into these tracks, and I'm really hoping to innovate the game.
You know what, I think innovation is what it's all about, and bringing your strength to the table, and I think that you're doing an amazing job of that. So whatever I can do to support it, as uncomfortable as I'm going to be, I'll be there behind you.
Alright, one last question. It's about your modeling. Do you ever think it could be a possible career choice?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm Chris Tate. This was the Lily exclusive. No, scratch that. This was the conversation with Lily. And we're in your hometown, yeah?
Yeah, Victoria.
Okay.
The first conversation of many.
Yes.
I hope.
Yes.
Just the beginning.
Yes. Parveen, I need you to do me one favor. Can you hold this for a second? Okay. Ready? On like count of 3, we'll do youth engagement, and then we'll high five.
Okay.
Ready? So 1, 2, 3. Youth engagement.
Engagement! Woo!
We out.